Here goes.
Sorry for the
Carlos.
technical difficulty. I couldn't remember the password for my computer. Can you imagine that? I was locking on my own computer. That's because I didn't Yes. And I couldn't get a hold of her. Anyway, guys, we're gonna talk about what was the main theme that Gus talked about when he was here. The main thing.
Going back to basics.
Basic, which is what? Which is, well, yeah, but he talked about recruiting. And I was talking to I think Lucio and Sanka about this. I was talking to some other people, my guys from out of town. When I promoted like 43 RVPs over a 12-year period. That's why Hugo has a ring, about to get the second diamond actually. Luis is about to get the second diamond. All these RVPs, we were focused on one thing, and that was recruiting. Okay, so in 2011, the company came out with all of us, not just recruiting, but the message was code numbers, licensed people. Yeah. And unfortunately, I drank the Kool-Aid too. I mean, you know, the company will never steal you incorrectly. It doesn't mean they're always right. You know, y'all don't know this. So when I first started the business back in 1990, in 1991, we actually, they started selling like, okay, I don't know what it's called, but this is before Costco and Sam's. There was a company that you could buy furniture on wholesale. And we used to do that. I never sold one. I thought, I got into financial services. Why are you selling consumer stuff, man? I understand the value. You want to save people money, but I never was comfortable with it. They did it for 6 months. They got rid of it. Okay? I'll give you another example. About a year ago, our company started, we started selling life insurance for 71 and above, and for folks who are uninsurable, right? That lasted about 3 months. You know why?
People were dying.
Because there were some America reps going to hospitals where people were dying the next day. Hey man, why don't you buy a policy? So, and we do everything big, right? And again, I never even thought of doing that, but it makes sense for commission. I mean, that's not good for the company, obviously, we pay all these premiums, but I mean, all these death claims, but hey, they were there to get some cash. I totally get it, and they needed it. So the company said, wait, let's stop this program for right now. Let's evaluate, okay? So the company's made some decisions sometimes on certain things. You're on, right? Thanks, man. Awesome. And what was I telling you this? Okay, so in 2011, they came out with getting codes. And by the way, it does make sense to get code numbers. But codes can only come about if you've got people in the system. Yeah. You know, in other words, this is the problem with coding or just promoting codes. We want to increase our ratios. This is the problem. We're trying to increase our ratios, so we're only going to recruit about 10 people, so I can get 7 or 8 licensed, John. So it sounds good, man. We have 80% pass ratio. In all of Art Williams, since Art Williams to today, do y'all know what the ratio is, or the passing? What do you call it? People that get coded. What do you call it? The percentage. You know what it is? 8%. It's horrible. It's pathetic. Yet our company has the most people in America making more than 100 grand a year, and more than $1 million a year. As pathetic as that may seem, if you were to put us in a VA for 142 grand, I mean, she'll make 3 or 4 or 5 grand on that thing. That's pretty amazing, right? So understand what we do is ginormous. We're in the financial services field. If any of you all ever doubt if you should be here or not, listen, we're in the #1 industry to be in. So anything else is wherever you go, you'll never have this opportunity. It's financial services, and it's a vast thing. We're talking variable annuities, fixed index annuities, just on that part alone. That's a totally, in investments, we've got retirement accounts, which is Roth IRAs, SEP IRAs, traditional, right? Then we've got college funds, then we've got annuities, variable annuities. It's just that alone right there, you can make 100 grand a year, right? And then you have, of course, life insurance, our bread and butter. But the key thing of us is recruiting. So the company came out in 2011, let's focus on code numbers, and the ratios have not changed. It's still only 8%. It's still only 8%. Now, some people are getting 18%, maybe 20%, but the problem is if you focus on increasing your ratio, increasing your percentages of people passing, you start being more conscientious of how many people you're going to recruit, because you're more focused on licensing instead of recruiting in the front door, right? We need to get back to recruiting. No, don't get me wrong, we're better now at getting people licensed. I mean, Esmeralda, you passed your exam after 5 days of joining the business, and you studied on POL, or was it a book? What did you study?
Just what you told me, the green
Wow, you're coachable. Amazing.
Well, you said it was
You actually
fast.
did what I told you? That is awesome. See what happens when you listen to your coach?
Right?
Not in everything, okay, but most of the things, right? But taking exams and passing, I've done well in school, so that is something I'm pretty good at, okay? So congrats on that. How many hours did you study for that exam, you know?
I just took it 10 times.
You took it 10 times? Not the state exam. You didn't take it, yeah,
Right.
that's 13.
No, she took the Go Green.
10 times.
Practice exam about 6 to 8 times. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And you're you have you're a single mom
10
and you have your own other
I
business.
studied
So
about
it's not like
10
she was.
hours.
It wasn't like she was broke and she was homeless and all she had to do was study all day. She actually has a family.
She has
Okay,
an amazing brain.
she does, and work ethic.
Yeah.
No, I did what he told me. He actually told me to take the test, and then remember you told me to put A on all of them, and
Yes.
then study the answers that
Have
came
y'all
out.
heard this before?
Mhm.
So in other words, was it the practice exam,
It
right?
was the practice exam.
So on the practice exam, when you take it, I told her, do not read the question, just press A on everything. You're gonna get the wrong answer 9 out of 10 times, and you want to get the wrong answer because it'll give you the right answer and why. And now it's time to study.
And then you said do that again a few times.
Yeah,
then
and
you-
that's why I passed my securities exam. I didn't have time. I was a pharmacist, right? I was filtering some people out a lot, but I had 2 or 3 people I was filtering. I was trying to figure out what to do, but I had to study. And as a pharmacist, I got out of the HEB. We closed at 9. By the time I got home, it was about 9:45. So I'd eat really quick, and I studied from 10. So 2 keys that I did to pass my exam. This will work for life. Number 1, schedule your exam way before you think you're ready. In other words, in fact, Teresa called me Saturday during the school. Yeah. So I talked to her on Monday or Tuesday. And I said, Teresa, you want me to help you? Then you need to schedule your exam.
Just force her.
Yeah, well, but that's for everybody. Schedule your exam, take your practice exams, and then we'll talk. So she scheduled her exam for November 11th, I think she told me.
Okay.
She called me today, as a matter of fact. It's all in Spanish, she speaks really fast. But I'm like, sorry, what? That's not Mexican, man. What is that?
She's Salvadorian.
Huh?
She's Salvadorian.
That's the reason.
It is
And she's real thick. We're not Carlos Diaz, no. She's like she's angry. Oh my God, I sound like my mom when she said, Carlos Martin Gonzalez, get your butt over here. What did I do now? Are you sure it was me, Mom? So number 1, you gotta schedule your exam. It means, y'all know why it's important?
Yeah.
Because now you know when the deadline is.
Yep.
Listen to me. The reason why writing down the 5 things you gotta do the next day, I told you all this before. I don't know if you were here a second for this, but there's a book I read called The Unemployed Millionaire. Again, The Unemployed Millionaire. One of the keys he said to being successful is the night before, write down the 5 things that you need to do. Okay? So let me make sure you understand what I'm doing. So let's say tomorrow, and this is business related really, okay? So let's say I have to call, JD. There's a guy, JD Prosper, a guy named, this pharmacist guy, I forgot his first name, the pharmacist guy, different than you guy, this is pharmacist guy, you're a new guy. Remember, some of y'all remember?
Yeah.
3 would be, let's say, call home office for maybe a recruit or something. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Something you gotta do. 4 is check on a client's, that they did the blood work, for example, because
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense for you to get paid and then it charges back. That makes no sense. So that's important, okay? That's part of business. 5 is, let's just say, somebody throw me one. How about prospect 5 people? I don't know. Let's just say that's my agenda for tomorrow. I gotta do these 5 things. Those are very important. Now he says, and actually that's not, I didn't number them. He didn't number them. Now are the 5 things you have to do tomorrow. Now you number the most, and this is how you figure it out. If I can only do 1 thing tomorrow out of these 5 things, which is the most crucial thing that I have to do tomorrow? And it's up to you, right? Let's say for when you go to RVP, it'll affect your bonuses, right? So in other words, the average in Primerica is about a 70%. I think mine's 74%. So when I get a bonus, I get 74% of everything because my QBI is a 74. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it. I lose 16%.
Yep.
74 is 16. Yeah. So I'm gonna get 16% less of my 100% bonus because of my QBI. But that's the average in the company is 69, 70, 71. A few people do 90, 95. The way they do every life app is this. They will not, every life app is COD. Every life app is COD. Now I know the guy, they make about 300,000 a year. I rather make 800,000 a year with my system.
Right.
The problem with the COD thing is, I mean, so when you write an app, you will not get paid until it gets issued. Well, it's hard to have a budget and be full time when there's a stoppage of income coming in. Y'all know, you understand what I'm talking about, right? So I trust that you all will write good business. Make sense?
And also,
Now,
people don't get covered right away, right? They don't have the coverage right away, right?
They don't have the coverage either, which is not bad. If they die, all because of your QBI, that family's broke, which doesn't make sense, right? So let's say that's number one. Number two is I really got to call this pharmacist guy. Number three is JD. The last one, what does that say? Oh, actually it was number one, sorry. Home office for a recruit, that's important too. So let's just say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then tomorrow comes, and I only get to do 3 things. But if I get, I secure my client, that the blood urine got done, I get this up for my recruit, and and then maybe this. Then the next day, number 1 will be this one. Call JD because now that's number 1 because that was number 4 on the list, right? And the number 2 because this was 5 is my to get my 5 prospects. Make sense? And that's the problem with people in our business is that we're terrible business owners. We really are. This is a problem in America. We recruit people who never had a business, so they have no skills on being business owners. And write this down. There's 2 types of work. Okay, work processors and work creators. Work processors and work creators. A work creator is a boss, a business owner, an entrepreneur. They create the work. Like an example, Michael Dell is a work creator. Bill Gates, work creator. Sam Walton, work creator. Okay, they created this vision and everything else, and then they hired people, and they're called work processors. Again, they're called work processors. They don't make a lot of money. They're employees. They're just processing the work. There isn't too much money in the processing the work. We have home office employees. They don't make our incomes. They make whatever, 30, 40, 50 grand a year, whatever they make. They'll never get wealthy. They'll never own the business. Hopefully they buy some stock. That's the only way they're going to have a chance to have ownership in part of our business, right? We are blessed. They give us stock, and we own our business, our agency. So we win both ways, right? But you got to go to RVP. You got to become a regional vice president for the ownership, right? And make over 300 grand a year, right? So again, the problem with most of our guys is that they don't know what to do. If you just have a schedule like this, to me, I'm an AS, right? So I'm action oriented, but I'm also, more or less kind of organized. It's a little different than most people, but I'm not chaos. I do have agendas, and I write things down, and I attack my agenda. I got it taken care of, right? Yes, sir.
What would be the best place to write that?
If I were you, okay. The problem with phones, some of y'all are very digitally. I don't know if that's the word, digital, whatever you want to call it. Especially millennials, whatever. That's fine. But I believe you should put it on your phone. You can put it on your to-do list for the day. If y'all want to do that, I don't know how to do that. I just kind of don't worry about it. But to me, the most effective is on my appointment book.
Oh.
If you have an appointment, and I highly encourage you guys to use an actual book where you write things down. On the very top, you can put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 real small. Does that make sense? That's what I would do. Let me tell you why it's important. You put it next to you in the car, and it's right there where you got to see it every day. If you put it in your phone, you only see it if you actually look for it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that's what I would do. Write it down. If you have to get a little notepad like Columbo, you used to write little notes, you can do that too. Whatever it is that works for you, basically, okay? Now, let's see here real quick. So being a business owner, do you think business owners are diligent? Okay, let me rephrase. Do you think successful business owners are diligent with their work ethic and discipline? What do you think?
Yeah.
They are. They have to be. They have to be, folks. I sent this out to the team on email about 3 years ago. I believe it was American Airlines. It could have been Delta, but I think it was American Airlines. They readjusted the wing of their plane, just like a couple of little degrees. It saved the company per year something like $1.2 billion in fuel, just adjusting the wings on their planes like a couple of degrees to become more aerodynamic. But it saved them just a little. My point is this: small little adjustments in our business, and that's everybody here, can make a world difference in your business. Just little adjustments, right? So again, it's important to have a schedule. If you're part-time with us, I would look at the total week and figure out a day or two that you can do appointments. Block out some time for it. I block out time for my workout every day. In fact, I couldn't do it this morning. I woke up late. I had a luncheon to go to for Lincoln. I had to go pick up my daughter from school, and then I said I have an hour before training. I did my quick workout, right, at the house, and then I had to go pick up some stuff for my other daughter, right. I wasn't late because of my work. I was late because Mary called me at the last second, and that's okay, right. She's my daughter, right, so it's cool. But my point is, it's something I have to do. But if I miss a workout, the world's not going to come to an end. It's just not. It's not. My business has to run first. Y'all follow me on that, right? So going back to what I would do as a pharmacist, for example, okay, and this is how I beat everybody in Texas and in the company when I was in RL, and that's full timers and part timers. My schedule was very simple. Let's say Monday, I'd open the pharmacy. I'd work from 9 to 3. If you're off here, you're off in the morning, right? So then I wouldn't go until like 1 to 9. That means I would miss op. I make that change so I'll never miss op again. I'll tell you a little bit what I did. Wednesday, since I close, I would open. So it's like 9 to, it might be 8 now, but back then it was 9 to 3. I was off here, so I come in Thursday from 1 to 9. Friday I'd work from 9 to 3. And then Saturday I was off, Sunday I was off. So I made an agreement with the other pharmacist, and all of a sudden I was always off on Tuesday because that was important. You cannot miss op night. I don't care who you are. Nobody is that strong to be able to miss meetings on a regular basis and still think you're going to do this business. It just doesn't make sense. It's like church. If you start missing church on a consistent basis, you're going to forget about the message. Well, I'm still a Christian. Yeah, you're still a Christian, but are you a practicing Christian? No, and I'm not saying I'm holding it now because I'm definitely not holding it now. You understand what I'm saying? We all need to get back to practice, okay? If professional athletes have practice, these are NFL football players, basketball, they make millions of dollars doing it. We gotta go to practice too, right? So the second message that Gus talked about, besides recruiting, was working on our thinking, working on ourselves, right? The reason why most of us don't do well in our company is they don't value their time. We don't value how amazing we are, and you need to start changing that, okay? Your self-talk has to improve. That's why I mentioned to people, my favorite book on that helped change me, is What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. That book was like a personal brain diagnosis, and I realized why I was what you call self-sabotaging myself. Mm-hmm. I was my own worst enemy. When I invite someone to the op night, they didn't show up. This is my negative self-talk, man. What would I say? It would say something like, figures, no one ever shows up when I invite them. Well, my brain could talk back and suppose, I'm giving you what you're telling me to do, right? What else? I go to an appointment and I would get a dark house. Figures, nobody I call ever wants to see me. I was having a pity party. Two reasons why you should never have a pity party. Number one, no one wants to come to your party, and two, no one's going to bring you a present. So we need to stop having pity parties. Does that make sense? Because trust me, if pity parties were successful, I'd be the most successful pity party. I'd have a lot of stuff, but nobody ever came to my aid, okay? I'm not saying you can't hurt or whatever. What I'm saying is the more professional you become, those pity parties become like a minute or a second, not days. And when I was new, I made a phone call, and I got a no on the phone. And I would make a call for 3 days because I was still hurt from the pain. Yep. I was a little snowflake. I know. For 3 days, it was the pain. Is that crazy? Yeah. That is like, I don't know if you can think that. To me, it doesn't bother me anymore. But back then, I was very fragile, and most of us are when we come on board, right? We got to work on our thinking. The other book that helped me a lot on communication skills is You've Got to Be Believed to Be Heard by Burt Decker. When I applied that information on that book, I'll give you an example. In the book, he says, think about this, when we were cavemen or cave women, our brain was not very sophisticated. It wasn't about math, and it was about fight or flight. Does that make sense? That was all we had. We've evolved. This is the thing though. What he's saying is when we're communicating our message to someone across the kitchen table, we need to connect with it's called the first brain. We need to connect with the first brain, and it's emotional. It's not theory, or it's not science or math. Facts don't sell. Stories sell, not facts, right? So it got me to understand that was my problem. Coming from a pharmaceutical background, facts were important to me, and that field is extremely important, right? And so I was trying to sell life insurance to a guy like Otis on life insurance, on the facts of life insurance. You know that Otis, 87% of people own life insurance, own the wrong kind. I mean, that's a little like professor-like, right? That doesn't matter. You know what matters? The first brain, emotion. Hey, Otis, listen. You love your wife and kids, don't you? Obviously, and so if something were to happen to you, would you still want to win the money game or not? Absolutely. So if I can help you put a plan in place that can help you accomplish that, be a good thing or bad thing for you. So you're probably wondering what the next step is, aren't you? Boom, let's figure out what it is. You guys follow me? Emotional, all of a sudden I started closing, recruiting. It's amazing, but that book changed me, okay? My communication changed, okay? So, for example, so here I have, okay, I'm off at 3. I'm going to see if I can turn like 5:30, a 7:15, and a 9:15, okay? Wednesday, I'm off at 3 again. I'm going to see if I can schedule a same thing, 5:30, 7:15, and a 9:15. All right, I remember I told you I got this to be off now where I could do that. So I had the weekends that I was off, the week that I was off the weekend, this became my schedule 2 days in a row, and I only had one night to do appointments, okay? Or actually Friday too. So I had 2 nights to do appointments. One night was for off nights. The next week was flip-flop, okay? But the weekend was shot. I was when I had to work the weekend, I worked 28 hours, or I think it was 20 hours in two and a half days. I had no time for anything. My point is, if you just figure out 2 days, if you just block out 2 days and you schedule 2 or 3 appointments and 1 or 2 will go through, you'll beat almost everybody in Primerica. Because most folks, they think too small. You guys follow me? Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about recruiting and building, okay? I don't want you to worry about code numbers right now. I want you to worry about, it's kind of like if you're thirsty, how can I say this? If you were thirsty and someone offers you water, are you going to ask, by the way, did that go through some water filter? Because I know I'm afraid of nickel and lead. Dude, if you're thirsty, guess what? I'm drinking that freaking water. As long as it didn't come from a river and, and amoebas and stuff like that, right? If it came from someone's faucet, I've been to clients' houses where they, in Pecos, Texas, I know y'all ever been to West Texas, they tell me the water's horrible. But when you're thirsty, you know what? Hey, it's only for like a day anyway, man. One glass ain't gonna kill me, right? I'm still alive. So let's do this. I'm not going to show you that, so let me just get to... Oh, and by the way, on the thinking part. All right, so when I joined Primerica, when I first... I'm sorry, it's getting kind of warm in here. When I joined the business, I wasn't very successful recruiting. Because, number one, my skill set was horrible. And I've said this before, your skills pay the bills, right? You gotta sharpen our skills. And so... I wasn't very good, and so it made me feel like maybe no one wants to... I remember telling Mary many times, man, is there anybody in Austin like us that wants to be successful? Y'all ever had those conversations? Yeah. It seems like we're the only one. And then we recruited, gosh, how many people I recruited in my whole hierarchy? I think we've done about 30,000 recruits since I've been in Primerica. 30,000. 99% of them quit. That's just the way it is. Now you can focus, there's a book called Who Moved My Cheese?
Yep.
Scat and Scurry. How many of y'all have read that book? There's this maze, there's cheese every day, these mice go in there, they get their cheese. One day they get there's no cheese where it's supposed to be. One of them complains, hey, who moved my cheese? Why did they do that? The other mouse like, you know what, it doesn't matter, let's go, we're gonna starve to death just thinking about this, let's go find some cheese. No, we need to call a meeting and figure out who moved my cheese.
What happened?
And the other one says, you don't get it, man, let's go find some cheese. They moved it, it's gone. Quit analyzing this thing, right? So my point is, you could be analyzing the business and say, well, wait a minute, why did my guy quit? Because that's the way it is. My Bible says that the poor will always be with us. Why are you like fighting the Bible? The poor will always be with us. These are the numbers on recruiting. Okay? When you recruit 10, actually, you know what? Before I go to that, this is what I want you to do on your paper. I want you to map out what I just did, Monday through Sunday. I don't care if you're full-time, no time, part-time, sometime. I want you to write down a schedule. If it's just 2 days you can do Primerica, then just schedule. I want you to put it, it's not for me, I'm not going to see it, so I'm not going to like hold you accountable. But it's important you make one, make a schedule, okay? And put on there, what are you going to do every day? Which nights are you going to do appointments at, okay? If you're full-time, you should spend an hour every morning reading on self-improvement. I would, if you're married, I would spend, I'm going to have lunch with my wife or my husband every day. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Block it out. treat, if it's date night with your spouse, whatever, then block it out. Just don't make it on off nights, and don't make it during training. Oh, but you said, can't you do it? Yeah, I didn't say it. There's 7 days,
It's
really?
5 other days.
So it's just a cop-out, man. You're self-sabotaging your business. Quit doing that. There's other nights. Like Friday night, like a Saturday night would be good. Maybe Sunday night, I don't know. So write down your schedule. If you're full-time, I would schedule, block out time for recruit interviews here at the office or at Starbucks, doesn't matter. But you gotta have a schedule. You cannot, if you live your life casually, you'll wind up being a casualty.
Yep.
Okay, you can't live Primerica life casually. You can't. I believe what I see in our business is no one has goals, and so whatever happens, and then the one end of the month, man, I can't believe I had a bad month. Well, you had a bad month because you didn't block out time. You don't have to have a appointment every single hour here. Okay, because if y'all know our ratio is 8-5-3-1. Out of 8 appointments that go through, 5 of those are going to want F&As. 3 will become life clients, and 1 will become a recruit. Those are the numbers. It's not going to change. I've told you the story. There was one time I went on 25 straight appointments, and I had 25 closes on all 25. I felt like a champion. I'm like, man, I'm pretty good. Y'all ever do that to yourself? Man, I mean, you don't tell everybody, right? Just like, you know, I was feeling good. And then I went 0 for 17. And I was doubting myself, like, man, what's wrong with me? Maybe I'm not that good. Should I be doing Primerica? I already quit my job. I'm like, oh my gosh, did I make a mistake? You know what I mean, right? And this is what I figured out when by the way, we don't analyze our business when things are going good. We analyze our business when things don't go well. Right? So even when your business doesn't go well, if you analyze it and figure out why it's going the wrong way, you're making lemon out of lemons. So what I figured out of those 17 people that I didn't close in a row, they were the wrong market. There were 3 or lower pointers. There were 3 2 or 1s. The ones that I closed, 25 straight, they were all 4 or 5 pointers. They were warm market. They were from our recruits. The other ones were cold prospects. So of course the ratios would be better if you're in the right market, right? And you're filtering somebody. So 8-5-3-1. All right. Let me know. Y'all finished with the schedule?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Do we put training Saturday or Friday?
I'm gonna. If y'all are okay with, I think we just keep training on Friday night. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. Because that means Saturday morning, you and your spouse, if you have children, you can go to their games and meet more parents because we need to be in that market anyway. 2, you can see, obviously be with your kid and make them feel special if you're there. 3, you know, if you don't have any kids, how about hang around people that do have kids and get names and numbers? I don't know. Heck, if you want, just sleep in late. I don't care. That'll be your date morning. We're gonna sleep in if you want. We're gonna have lengua. Right? You don't like lengua? It's not love. Oh, I think you're like, shut up, man. Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna get one tonight at HEB. It's a big tongue. You put it in the crock pot overnight for 8 hours, salt, pepper, chopped onions the next morning. It's like delicacy. I know, I've seen something like this big. It's like, dude. Imagine that French kissing. Oh my gosh, right? But my point, I know. But they are, have y'all seen a cow's tongue? Yes. Oh my gosh, man, they're huge. Okay, so, let's see, what was I talking about?
Lengua.
Yeah, before lengua. Oh, Friday night training, is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Let me tell you another reason why I'm doing Friday night. Because most of the time when I schedule appointments on a Friday night, by Wednesday or Thursday start falling through because people all of a sudden, they want to go out. So the people I was going to go see, call me to reschedule because, hey, I've been, it's the end of the week and my wife and I go to dinner or whatever. And
we gotta celebrate.
Yeah, like they're free for about 2.5 days. They're celebrating 2.5 days of freedom. So I figured let's make Friday night productive. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. And plus it's becoming colder now. In the summer it was important to do it Saturday morning because the AC is on Saturday mornings. And like right now it's kind of warm, but it was warmer in the summer. You know what I'm saying? So we'll do that. Now our new office will be a little different and stuff like that. We'll be moving by March 1st, so it'll be a little cooler. All right, so recruiting, okay? When you recruit 10 people, 3 are gonna quit right away. Right away. Sanka, does anybody quit right away when you recruit them?
Yes.
Okay, what is the fastest time, Sanka, you recruit someone and they quit?
2 days.
If I quit, because obviously they in their head, like in
They
an
call
hour,
you and
quit.
tell you, I don't want to do this after all.
oh, how about I miss, they don't call me, or I don't get a hold, maybe the next day.
Okay, I had one quit within 1 hour.
Yeah.
Within 1 hour.
After signing the IBA?
Actually, no.
Yes.
Yes, they were in my office. She joined the business. By the time she got home, she talked to her husband. She calls me up. My husband said I shouldn't do this, and we don't. I'm like, okay.
Oh, I have one. Right after the IBA was submitted.
Right there and then. So you beat me.
What?
You beat me. Yeah, mine was pretty quick, 1 hour.
That's ridiculous.
But so again, 3 are gonna quit right away. Can you control who's gonna quit and who doesn't? You
No.
can't. So you recruit 10, 3 are gonna quit. What's gonna happen is 3 will get licensed. Only 3 of the 10 will get licensed. Out of those 3 that get licensed, 1 will get licensed and quit. The other one gets licensed and stays forever, basically, but they never do anything. And the other one becomes somebody. They'll be your rabbits.
What's your ratios? What was that?
Yeah. So out of every 10 recruits you recruit, 3 are gonna quit right away.
Okay.
Okay, they say that you should recruit your enemies because there's a 30% chance you'll never see them again. Because when these three
Witness
people quit,
protection.
they change their cell numbers, they move from their residence. It's amazing. Like,
Stop going
you
wherever
know,
you're
for
going.
20 years, recruit them. Now they quit. Now they move. Like, wow, that was amazing. So anyway, so 3 are gonna quit right away. Of the remainder, 3 will get licensed. But of the 3 that get licensed, 1 quits. 1 stays in is part-time, and they're good part-timers, but 1 becomes successful. They become your rabbit. The problem is we need to focus on 10 and not worry about the rest. 10, okay? Recruit 10 and let God sort them out, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about recruiting fears. Why is it that people have fear of recruiting? Number 1, they're afraid that they're going to associate us with MLM.
Yep.
Is this multi-level marketing?
Right.
This is how
Yep.
you overcome that. Sanka, do you believe in multi-level marketing?
I guess I'll say no.
Okay, this is the thing about, let me give you 2 ways to overcome that. First of all, okay, MLMs. Nobody dislikes MLMs because you can get rich off of them. They don't like MLMs because they're overpriced. You can buy a shake, and I'm not trying to discredit anybody here that's ever done anything, but if you look at Amway, Herbalife, Mary Kay, and again, there's nothing wrong with them. They're legal. I think they're great products, you know, but they're overpriced. And so people get tired of it. Y'all follow me, right?
Yeah.
Primerica, what makes us unique is it's totally different. It's not something you can go to HEB and buy, okay? I'll give you an example. So, on the MLM part, this is what I tell someone. Nobody dislikes MLMs because of the structure or the compensation. They don't like them because of the products. Does that make sense? It really is the products, okay? So, the other way to overcome it, I would say, do you know how an MLM works?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how it works.
You recruit somebody, and then they recruit somebody, and
So let me ask you, when you were at GNC, did you have a manager above you?
oh yeah,
Did they make more money than you?
Yep.
Did that person have a manager above them?
mm-hmm.
Did they make more money than them?
Yes.
Wow, sounds like an MLM. Because
Yeah.
there's different levels of management, right? Level with me. Sanka, could you control your promotions at GNC?
I cannot.
See, in Primerica, you can control your promotions here, right? So I'm just curious, do you like yourself a little bit?
I do, yes.
So you want to get a promotion, right? So if you can control your promotions and over there you couldn't, and you're already in that system, does it make sense to be in another system, same system, but now you can promote yourself?
Yeah.
That's what it's at, right?
Yeah.
That's how you overcome the MLM thing, okay? Another thing about MLMs that I figured out too, I'll give you an example. And again, when I joined Primerica, I never heard of MLM in the history of it. I mean, I was 25 years old, never been approached by anybody. But with MLMs, like Amway, you cannot overwrite your team unless you bought X amount of products yourself. Did y'all know that?
Yep.
I don't know if that still goes on, but that's the way it was. So I don't like that system. I think it leaves people a bad taste in their mouth, right? Another problem with most MLMs, you got to buy inventory. We don't have inventory to buy here. There's nothing you have to buy. You pay $25 for POL and that's it. I think that's pretty cheap, right? Yes,
I actually learned something, but other companies, they, like that do life insurance, they charge you something called errors and omissions.
oh yeah, no they do. Leslie, do me a favor, can you grab water from the refrigerator for me, please? Thank you. That's correct. I recruited 2 guys, Joe and I can't remember the guy's name is Mike. They work for another company, New York Life I think it was, and I didn't know this. A couple of things y'all need to appreciate about our business. With those other companies, including New York Life, all those companies, thank you Leslie. is this. When you write up a life app, thank you very much. When you write up a life app, that you will not get paid until the policy gets issued.
Right.
And it may take 2 or 3 months because they gotta follow up with blood work. So imagine being in this industry and that with that company, and you write up an app and you don't get paid till 2 months later. I don't know about you, but that's kind of hard to have a budget. I mean, y'all follow me, right? But America pays you in like 24 to 48 hours. That's pretty remarkable in our business, in our industry. Does that make sense?
Yes. Very unique.
Number 2 is if it doesn't go through, they get a charge. In other words, if the client declines it, or they get, what do you call it, declined, they have to pay. They have to pay like $50 or $100 for every chargeback, even though they never got paid for all the processing. Is that crazy? And you guys worry, y'all, this is the problem in our business. We've never been in this industry before, so we think everyone's like us, and they're not. Dora had a lady who quit because somebody convinced her that being in the health insurance part is more lucrative than being in the life insurance. Is that triple dumb or what? I'm sorry. You don't make a lot of money in health insurance, number 1. Number 2, with the system they have now with Obamacare, it's very watered down. It's hard to compete, to be honest with you. Okay, so, let's see here. Let's go to this here. No experience. Well, I want to do this. By the way, the MLM one, you can overcome it with a pyramid. It's the same thing with a pyramid. It looks like a pyramid. Lucy, do you know what a pyramid is? I always ask people, do you even know what a pyramid is? Well, yeah, it's when somebody recruits somebody, recruits somebody, recruits somebody. Oh, I mean, like a job? Isn't that true?
Yeah.
I mean, think about your job, John. You have and this is why we're coming. Do you have a manager above you? Yeah. They make more than you? Yes. So write that down. Oh, you mean like a job? John, do you have a manager above you? Yes. Does he or she make more than you? Yes. Does that person have a manager above them? Yes. Does they make more than them? Huh. Sounds like our business, the way our model is. Yes, sir.
I had a guy say no because it looked like a pyramid or whatever, and he even used to be a headhunter for another company where he had to hire people, and he got a cut of all of their salary. And it's like,
It's weird. You know, some
similar,
people,
but
the hardest door to open in this world is a closed mind. It's a closed mind. Okay? And some people are just not going to budge, and that's okay. The good news, we live in the Austin area, there's 1 million people here. Next one. NO means the next one, right? Okay, so. Huh?
He said that more people are moving here every day.
Absolutely. I think like, what, 10,000 a month or probably more, right?
Jeez.
It's crazy. If you don't believe me, get a 935
yeah,
and
I
go
was going
back.
to get on 35.
Oh my gosh, it's hard to get. I mean, it takes an hour to get to North Austin the wrong time, right?
Did you know Amazon's bidding on a factory here, and if it lands, it's gonna increase our population by about
That's true. What factory?
Amazon.
They want to do
Oh,
it
they're gonna build it around here?
They're bidding for it. So.
I mean, I hope we get it. It means more clients
Yeah.
to see.
Right.
You don't sell for the truck for the car time or whatever, but it'll be good, right? How about this one? No experience. Carlos, I don't want to talk to someone because I don't have the experience yet. You don't have to be experienced. Put them in front of your field trainer. You don't have to know everything. You guys follow me? If you're working with Lucio, put him in front of Lucio. You're working with Sanka, put him in front of Sanka. You're working with me, put him in front of me. And so again, if you're new, you don't. The good news is you don't have to do anything up front. And rather, when have you ever done a presentation by yourself in America? Oh, you have. Well, the good news is this: you don't have to. Just call me. I'll help you. Oh, by Carlos, I'm independent. I understand, but I can still help you. I don't mind helping you. If I help you, I'm helping myself too. I mean, why not use me, right? I mean, that's at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong. At some point, we want you to be independent. But my point is, in the beginning, you don't have to be the expert. Your trainer is. Matter of fact, the problem is when you're new, and you go talk to your warm market, they don't look at you as an expert. And I heard this definition before. An expert is a fool who lives 30 miles out of town with a briefcase. In other words, anybody but you is the expert. So if Leslie wants to talk to her mom and dad, or Daniel's mom and dad, they're going to see Leslie as mijita. They're going to see Daniel as mijito. They love you. They're like, I changed their diapers, man. What do they know more? But if they put me in front of them, oh, well, they'll be more open-minded. So use your trainer. Does that make sense, right? So don't worry about the experience. You'll get it by watching the business, watching it unfold, okay? Number 3, who makes the sales? Oh, by the way, no experience. Use others' credibility. So there's 3 credibilities. Write this down, 3. The company credibility, your upline's credibility, and then your credibility. When you're new, you're still working on your credibility, so don't worry about it. But the company's credibility, we've been around 40 years. We paid $1.2 billion of life insurance death claims last year. It's a lot. New York Stock Exchange, our stock went up to what, $89 a share? Unbelievable, right? What else? Our average face amount per client is about $297,000. Highest in the industry. Highest. Matter of fact, I don't have it with me. I'm assuming you get it from the State Board of Insurance, but there's some little brochures you can get, and it rates all the companies as far as suitability, not suitability, ability to pay. What do you call that? Solvency.
Solvency.
If you look at Primerica, we have the best. Primerica saves out of every premium that we get, out of every dollar we get from a premium, we save the most of it in a money market account to be able to pay our claims. We are the most solvent to pay our claims in any other company. Is that? I mean, my point is, our company is doing the right things, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think John Edison told us, or I heard it on TV. They said they're required to have, like, say, X number of dollars. Let's say $1. America has $4 for every dollar that's
which
required.
is pretty amazing.
Which makes us even
it blows everybody away.
Yeah.
We're very solid. Don't listen to negative people. Don't listen to what your broke neighbor says about our company. Oh, I've heard of America. Well, you know, we've heard of you too, man. So that you know. And yours wasn't too good, right? So anyway, all right. You gotta be bold in America to win. You gotta stand firm with what you believe in, right?
Right.
So okay, so we're doing all this recruiting. Who's gonna make the sales? Well, recruiting is a sales process. I like what Art Williams says. They asked them when you recruit someone, when does this all happen? It happens when it's supposed to. That was his translation for, like, whatever. I'm gonna get it somehow. It might take a year, it might take a month, it might take a day. I don't know. I would work on the when it's supposed to, like, fast. Okay, that's what. Let me tell you why. Integrity. It's hard to go talk to someone if you're not a client of ours, and you're trying to sell them our business, the life insurance investments, and they ask you, well, do you have a policy with Primerica? Well, I don't, because the one I have right now is cheaper. Okay, you just ruin your credibility. Why would they want to buy from you? Well, I'd rather buy the one you have. Hello, you don't work for that company, they're going to pay you a lick. So why would you want to promote that other business? This is my point. Yeah, but I'm going to save $10 a month with my other company. Yes, but you'll make millions here by doing the right thing. Why? Because you can speak with conviction. You can't speak with conviction if you're not our client. Another thing too, by the way, is our policy is not the cheapest, but we have what you call a living benefit. You can get up to $500,000, $700,000. If you get diagnosed with cancer, we will advance you the money. Every other company policy that I've seen, they charge them for that rider, and it's not cheap. Okay.
They also make it a loan.
Yeah, exactly. We're so much better than everybody else. I told you all this before. When our policy, at the end of the term, we're the only policy that it can turn to decreasing term to age 100. So let's just say you have let's just say, I don't know, 100 grand of coverage. Now you're 65, it's the end of your 30-year term, 35-year term. You can still pay the same premium. Let's say it was $65 a month, whatever it was, 40 bucks a month. Pay that same monthly amount till age 100. Your face amount goes from 100, 95, eventually 70. You can cancel anytime you want. But other companies don't have that option. We're the only one that offers that option. The same premium. Y'all follow me on that, right? So we're very different, right? Let's see here. Number 4, do I have to recruit my family and friends? No, only the people you care about the most. That's it. You always tell, I don't want to talk to my friends and neighbors. Well, what have they done to you that you hate them so much? I don't get. Yeah, but I don't want to talk to my friends. I had this one guy say, I don't want to talk to my family because I don't want to feel like they have to buy from me. I said, listen, are your family and friends, they have a brain, right? They're adults. They can make their own decisions. Yeah, trust me, they're going to buy something from me, even if you're in it, if it's not good for them. I would, because I wouldn't do it. And honestly, when I go talk to your friends and family, and we can't help them, I'm not going to sell it to them for 2 reasons. One, it goes against my ethics. Number 1, you might quit tomorrow, but my ethics, I gotta sleep at night. Number 2, I don't want to show you the wrong thing. If I do the wrong thing for your family, you're going to quit anyway. So why would it would not be in my best interest to hurt your family or friends? You guys follow me on that, right? So again, I would talk to your family and friends because they're the ones that you should care. My Bible says charity starts at home.
Yep.
John, you guys are starting a church here. If you don't talk to your congregation, they're being talked to by some other company. Direct Life, MedLife, and most of them, listen, 9 out of 10 policies that people own right now are cash value. Their whole life, universal life, the wrong kind. So why not you do the right thing? I've told this before, I've said this before. If you read the Bible, there are more passages about money and savings than there are about the devil.
Yep.
Because God knows how important saving money is.
Yep.
When you have money saved, you treat people better. It's just the way it is. When you're stressed out about money, on the other hand, you can be more rude. And see, if you watch TV, you know, the news, not the news, soap operas and stuff, it's like the Dallas, you know, the 70s, J.R. Ewing. They always want to make it in the soap operas, right? Like As the World Turns, or General Hospital, or whatever they have nowadays, Bold and Beautiful, whatever they have now. I don't know if they're around anymore. They always make the rich people look sleazy and this and that. They do it to make people that are poor feel good. I'm so glad I'm rich. I could be like that guy. And meanwhile, that guy's in a Ferrari, you're in a car that starts. I mean, that's the good thing about it starts, right? So my point is, don't believe all that. There's a lot of great wealthy people that give money and do things for other people, right? So my point is, talk to your friends and family. Now, this is really important. Replace your fears with a bigger fear. So, I'll give an example of me personally. I used to be scared of the phone. And because I was afraid of the word no. So how did I get myself to make phone calls? Let's say I gotta call Rosalba. She's on my list. Leslie and Daniel are clients of mine. They need Rosalba's and Martin, right? I got it right. I got Rosalba and Martin on my call list, and I'm scared of calling them. What if they tell me no? Oh my gosh, right? And the way I make the call is 2 ways. I replace my fear of getting a no with a bigger fear. So what's a bigger fear if I don't call her? What's the worst that can happen? Well, number one is they'll be broke, or Martin dies and leaves. How many kids do you have? 1? 2 kids. Listen to me. If I don't call Rosalba or Martin to schedule an appointment, and because I'm scared and they don't own any life insurance now because I never called them, and Martin dies, now his wife and 2 kids are broke. They're on what is it, Medicaid? I guess that's what they call it, right? Or whatever, social, whatever you call it, welfare, whatever. I hurt them because I was scared of a no. How inconsiderate of me to worry about my feelings and not instead of caring about another human being. Do you guys follow me? Yeah. So it got me to make the phone call. The other part, the worst that can happen is about an opportunity. I don't call Rosalba. She sits in a dead-end job forever, retires broke. And she'll never have a great life because I didn't offer her the opportunity. So there's another one. In fact, when I was obviously married with Mary, right? So this is the thing. Man, I got to make this call. Because I promised Mary that once we had kids, she could stay home. And what kind of a man am I if she can't stay home? I mean, am I a liar? I'm not a liar. I got to make this phone call because I want to make sure Mary has a chance to stay home with the kids and raise the kids the way we want them. Does that make sense?
Right.
So that's how I replaced my fear with a bigger fear. Your fear of making a phone call or going to see someone or process someone should be minimal compared to what the worst thing can happen to that guy or gal. Matter of fact, I'll get an example. Let's see here. Sanka, who prospected you?
Lucia.
Personally?
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this. I know you're not rich yet in America, but are you glad you guys are in this business?
Of course, yeah.
I mean, listen, you're in the process of being successful. You may not be successful yet, but at least you got hope now that you'll never have an average and ordinary life like everybody else because you're in the game. Now, winning that game depends on your efforts, don't get me wrong, but at least you have a chance to have a chance. And before America, Daniel, that's all I ever wanted, a chance to have a chance. As a pharmacist, the pay was always the same. In Texas, it's $160,000 a year. I'm gonna get taxed about 50%. That leaves me with 80. By the time you pay the mortgage, the cars, the student loans, I might have about $300 left over. Wow. How can you win that game? It's a dead-end game, right? So replace your fear with a bigger fear. Okay. In fact, write down your paper. What's a bigger fear to you than making a phone call? Write it down. And it's gonna have to be personal. It's yours.
Say it again.
Write down your
Your fear.
Write down your biggest fear. If you don't get this thing going, what's your biggest fear? Now, I know you make pretty good money at what you do, Esmeralda, but I'm sure you wouldn't mind making $500,000 a year, right? I mean, it's a little different lifestyle, right? You know, I save 30,000 a month of my income right now. That means in 3 years, that's 3 million at the 12% growth. It's another 2.5 million. That means that the next decade, I'll have about another 7 million in my portfolio, right? Is that pretty awesome or what? It's amazing. I'm telling you, right? Did I do it right? Let's see, 300,000 times 10, that's 3 million, another 2.5 million. So if everything stays the same, I don't increase my investment, my savings feature, right? I'll still have another 5 or 6 million at the next 10 years saved in addition to what I have. I don't know, I think that's pretty good. Now I live a nice life, don't get me wrong. I don't save everything I make, because you'll never see a U-Haul following a hearse, right? You just won't. You can't take everything with you. My kids are taken care of, they're very well taken care of. I die today, they're worth, they each get over 4 million each. Actually about 4.5 million each. I think they can have a good lifestyle like that.
Little bit.
Take care of daddy. Daddy's got to take care of daddy. Does that make sense, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta, so invest your money, save it, but have some fun too. And, you know, take Sam to a nice, I know you took her to Cabo. That was an awesome place, right? Are you kidding me? I'm going there in another week or so I'll be there for 7 days. All right. So did y'all write down your biggest fear? Eddie, what is your biggest fear? If you don't get promoted, then what's your biggest fear?
Leaving myself nothing.
And that's pretty motivating, is it not? Listen, I know it sounds trivial, but that should get your butt going, because if you, I mean, if a person was shooting your son, you would not hesitate to get in front of your son. You would not hesitate to get in front of that bullet for your son, right?
Right.
Seriously, if y'all have children, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, if you're willing to do that, can you take a no? You can't die from a no. You can die from a sneeze, but not a no. Okay? Who said that? Yeah, he was in his neighbor's closet.
Oh.
All right. Anyway.
Uh,
All right. So, developing a recruiting mentality. Number 1, understand our system. Okay, I don't think y'all know this. Okay.
It's not supposed to be there.
Huh?
It's not supposed to be there.
Exactly right. So, especially in Texas, man, we need our guns, right? All right. So this is New York Life, Allstate, State Farm. This is their system. There is one general agent, and he or she does all the recruiting.
yep.
This guy right here, gal, makes money off all the production. These agents make money only one way, and that's through sales. That's why you see agents go from New York Life to Northwestern Mutual. They're always chasing the higher commission. Always, because that's the only way. Farmers do it all the time. They go from retail, HEB, that pays the highest. Well, actually, nuclear pharmacy pays the highest, but they also lose 5 years of their life expectancy because of radiation. But anyway, they also lose air eventually. But anyway, let's just go retail number 1. Then they go to a hospital pharmacy, because now you don't see any clients. But you make. I took a. When I left HEB, before I went full time, I went to the city of Austin. I took a $17 pay cut compared to my proportion of my income. I took about a 40% pay cut. That's crazy, right? But I took it because the hours were from 8 to 5, and now every night I could do appointments. And I was making $7,000, $8,000 a month. Those last 3 months, I made $8,000 a month part time. So going out in the field every night, having available to do that, having that open, I mean, I didn't lose money. I made money. Makes sense? I realized having a job cost me money. When I was in my job, yeah, at the time I was making $50 an hour, right? Primerica pays me $200-300 an hour. So working at a job prevented me from making more money for my family. I was crazy, right? So again, the problem with that system is that these guys or gals will never have that opportunity. In order for them to have that, he or she has to die, quit, or retire. In other words, it's out of your control.
Right.
Primerica's system, and again, that was every other company besides ours, right? Our system is the same. It's totally different. Everyone starts off as a rep. Every single one. Matter of fact, I met a guy. I just saw him at the parking lot at HEB there, BK's about 3 years ago. He played football for the Texas Longhorns. When I was at UT back in '83, he played. He ended up going. He was really good. He ended up going to NFL with the Kansas City Chiefs. Blew out his knee after 3 years. So after that, he was done. Robert Vela, because I recruited him, right? And we went to I was filtering him. I went to his house in Circle C at the time, and the guy wanted to do the business, but he told me, I don't want to go through that. I want to just, can I just pay $100,000, $200,000, and I become an RVP? I said, no, you got to start from. Now in hindsight, I should have taken it. Not the money. My point is, I should have recruited him, and just, I was an RVP. I could have made him an RL or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But to me at the time, I'm like, you know, my point is, he still has to work. He wasn't working anyway, so in other words, this could be full time for him, but it didn't matter. My point is, I told him, no, you gotta start as a rep. Well, why? Because you can't buy a position here. You understand? You can't buy yourself to over there, right? You have to start from scratch. And I told him, how can you become an RVP if you never earned it? How can you teach people to become an RVP if you've never done it?
That's right.
You know, if you've never gone in the pool, how can you give swimming lessons?
That's right.
You've never been to water. Right? So my point is, everyone starts at the bottom. I don't care who you are. There's no prima donnas here, okay? And the good news is this. Unlike the other system with only one general agent in the city, we have unlimited positions as an RVP. Is that crazy? It's amazing. We can have, this office can have 20 RVPs. It doesn't matter. Because we have a big market, right? Y'all done that? Okay. Oh, let me see if we can go back real quick. When you're an RVP, in case you didn't know, when you're an RVP, that's the only time you have to go full time. That's why I quit my job. Tremendous, okay? I want to make sure y'all know why you want to become RVPs. Number one, you go from if you're an RL, that's a 70% contract, to RVP, that's a 110% contract. That means that every time you write a sale, you're going to get an extra 40% commission on that same sale. Number one, percentage-wise, that's an increase of about 60% increase. Y'all follow me on that? Or y'all won't get into the right one? Y'all get it?
Yes.
It's huge. If your boss offered you a 60% raise in your job, would you take it?
Heck yeah.
What do they give nowadays? A cost of living raise, 2.5%.
If that.
No, they don't anymore?
Not really.
Man. But 60% is pretty good, right? Number two, you get bonuses. My bonus last month, I think, was $33,000, something like that. That's pretty crazy, right? What most people make a year, I make every month just on bonuses, right? Okay, number three. Number three is spread. In other words, when you're an RVP, you're at 110% contract, your district leaders are at 50%. That's every time they write a sale, you make 60% from that sale. When you are a regional leader and you're at 70%, and your district at 50 is at 50, every time they write a sale, you only make 20%. So you got an increase in pay in the spread. Now let me show you on securities. When you're an RL and you do a $100,000 investment, say an IRA, it pays you about $1,250, more or less. When you're an RVP, you get paid $2,500. It's like it's a 100% increase in your commission. So why not go to RVP?
Mm-hmm.
Now to have true ownership in Primerica, you have to make $300,000 a year. Now some people are like, that's a lot. They want you to grow. They don't want you to be some starving Somalian, man, you know? Make some money. Save some money. Okay. And by the way, the promotions are not that hard. I guess y'all didn't know this too. From rep, by the way, I was talking to John about this. I don't even want to talk about senior rep. To me, is like I teach my girls going from rep to district. How do you get to district? You gotta have 3 recruits. Write this down because some of y'all don't know the guidelines. You have to have 3 directs and do about 2,500 premium, which is about 3 life cells. That's it. 3 directs and about 3 life cells. The cells have to be done in a month, in a calendar month. The recruits don't. Make sense? Now, to go from district to division, it's 5,000 in premium, but this is always going to be team, not personal, okay? So 5,000 in premium, which is about 7 or 8 life cells in a month. That's 2 a week. If you and your team can't average 2 cells a week, you don't deserve to be a division leader, okay? That's a 60% contract, and you have to recruit 3 more directs. So at division, you only need to have 6 total directs. It isn't a lot. It isn't a ton. Some of y'all could do it in a week if your life depended on it. Somebody held a gun to your spouse and said, if you don't get 6 directs this month, we're going to blow her brains out. What would you do? You go recruit 6, you actually recruit 10, just to make sure, right?
Recruit everybody.
Okay? The problem is that we don't hold ourselves to we don't hold ourselves accountable. Because we know that nothing bad can happen to our wife or our husband or our kids. Oh, well, I'll do it next month, and it's always next month. In other words, we lack a sense of urgency. What separates the winners in Primerica, those that don't, is sense of urgency. They have a, I gotta do it now mentality, I gotta do it now mentality, okay? And then regional is 7,500 in premium, which is probably about 12 live sales and 3 more directs. RVP with us is 20 by 20, this is team, 20 by 20 and 3 more directs. And I believe you have to have is it 9 license? I can't remember, or is it 12 license?
I think so.
But the bottom line, you're gonna have those codes. Because if you recruit someone like me, I'm gonna get my license, okay? Alright. Now, number 2.
There's only 6 licenses.
How do you develop a recruiting mentality? Number 2 is you look at everything through recruiting eyes. In other words, I had a call on Sunday from an old recruiter of mine. He was at church and he had one of his what do you call those people? Congress member? Not Congress member. Another.
Securities license.
What is it? Church member thing, but there's a name for it.
What was the question? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Oh, like a friend of yours at church. What do you call them? Well, okay.
Parishioner.
Yeah, parishioner. I don't know where the C came from, but a parishioner, right? Another friend of his in the same church. And he says, Carlos, I have a guy here, a friend of mine, and he wants to know more about college funds. And I told him, I'm calling you so you can set up you pass the phone and I schedule an appointment. Now, when I go see him, his focus is college funds. But I'm going to do the whole presentation. I'm going to show him how to build a house. I'm going to cover life insurance foundation. I'm going to cover the wills, right? I'm going to cover, you know, the house, right? I'm going to cover all that. I'm going to talk about recruiting. The door opener in his case is a college fund, but I'm going to talk about everything. So my point is, and then, by the way, that includes, I covered this last week. The reason why most folks are very poor recruiters is because we don't see recruiting as a product. We don't see, in other words, Zach, if you talk to a client and he has a whole life policy and he's got $100,000 of coverage, he's paying, say, $100 a month, let's just say, I don't know. With us, for the same $100 a month, he gets $500,000, let's just say. He's married and has 2 kids. Which of these is better for his wife and kids if he does? The $500,000. If he says, no, I think I'm okay, are you just going to walk out the door? Or are you going to say, hey, you're going to be nice, but my point is you're not going to quit on that because you know math doesn't lie. Do you all follow me? You're going to, because it's a product. And you know it's a product, and you have conviction. Well, recruiting is the exact same thing. If I sit down with Rosa, and she's, no, I have a good job at Sears. Sears still exists, right? Okay. I don't know there, but let's say she works at Sears, making $12 an hour. Oh, I'm okay. I'm gonna fight for her and her family. I'm like, and this is how I would do it. Rosa, let me ask you a question. With the salary you make from Sears, are you fulfilling all your goals and dreams there? Honestly, I mean, are you on vacations every couple months? Paid vacations, would you pay for it? Or are you driving the car of your dreams? Are you living in the house, your dream home right now? You know, if your husband got sick and he couldn't work, is your current job income going to support both of you? Listen, level with me. Does it make sense to have a backup plan in case you lose your job? It does, right? And if I could show you a way where you can work part-time, I don't know, 5-6 hours a week, and eventually you can replace your income maybe 2 or 3 years on the road, would that be a good thing or a bad thing? So doesn't it make sense just to give it a shot, right? See, I don't hear no. I treat recruiting as a product. I don't give up right away. Don't get me wrong. A lot of folks are still gonna weenie out, but so what? I will get more to say yes because I'm fighting for them instead of just giving up, right? So treat recruiting like a product, okay? Now, know your job description. When somebody asks you what you do, I know that says, let me give you mine, not that one, okay? When somebody asks you what you do, this is what you say. Great question, John. We show people how to save money and make money. And you gotta tie it down. Those 2 things are good. Would you agree? Okay, again, we help people save money and make money. Save money and make money.
I was always wondering about the transition for that. Those 2 things are good, right?
Right. And so that's called porcupine. See, this is a problem when I was new. I would give a lot of facts, and I get stuck. It's like getting stuck in the mud. And the reason why I was not transitioning to take action, everything you do, from a phone call to a prospect to being at a kitchen table, is to lead them towards the yes. Lead them to become clients, lead them to become recruits, right? Everything has to work that way. It's like a maze. You gotta know what the end result needs to be, right? So, this is my point. You answer a question with a question. Again, you answer a question with a question. If again, when I role played with you earlier about is this an MLM or pyramid, I asked you, well, tell me what is a pyramid to you, and I hear them out. Do you see that? I answer a question with a question. Look, Tom Hopkins taught me this. Professionals don't make statements; they ask good questions. Professionals in sales do not make statements; they ask good questions. Right? The quality of the questions you ask in Primerica will determine your quality of life. Again, the quality of the questions you ask will equal to the quality of life in Primerica. Okay, so again, I would say, see, going back to, so we help people save money, make money, John. Which of these two interests you the most?
Making money.
Making money. Okay, awesome. When we get together, or right now, we're going to cover that. Fair enough. So listen to what I said. Okay, which of these two interests you the most? Making money or saving money?
Making money.
Okay, so I'm going to cover that tonight. Fair enough.
Yep.
That's how you do it.
Now, when you're out prospecting, same thing. Like,
Same
what do you
thing.
do?
Which of these two interests you the most? Well, I guess making money, great. When we get together, I'm gonna cover both, but I'm gonna mainly target the one you like the most. Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's not gonna offend you if I cover saving money in addition to that, right?
No.
I'm already gonna be there. Would you agree? So might as well cover both, right? You see what I'm doing? I'm tying down. You gotta be quick, reflexive. Let's see. So let me go to the next one. Why does recruiting work? Number one, it's a better way to prospect. People don't want to sell, but they love opportunity. So this is what Art Williams said in his Georgia accent. Nobody wants to buy nothing, nobody wants to sell nothing, but everybody wants to make more money. That was Art Williams' direct quote. Nobody wants to buy nothing, nobody wants to sell nothing, but everybody wants to make more money. So what does that mean? When you prospect someone, talk about putting money in their pocket. Does that make sense? Once they're in the business, it's a different story. Once you get into KT, but when you're gonna get more yeses. If Rosa approaches me about how to make more income for my family, I'll listen. She's got my ear. You guys follow me? By the way, Neil Askew. He was a police officer in Houston. He joined the business back in 1979. He sold his business to Randy Godfrey. That's why Randy makes about $3 million a year now. Actually, 1.8 million a year. $1 million comes from Neil Askew's business. But Neil Askew says, he simplified our business. You find someone that knows someone that's willing to go take you to go see someone. That's our business. You find someone that knows someone that's willing to go take you to go see someone. That's called field training, right? Number two, it's a better way to sell. Recruiting is a sales process. When I'm in front of a client, if I'm in front of Angelicio or in front of Alicia and I'm going to talk to them about our business, I'm going to recruit them, I got to show them what we do. Nobody wants to join. What we do is so impactful. We got to show them what we do. Crusaders die hard. That's what Williams says. Crusaders die hard, right? And you cover the company, concept, and get a commitment. Matter of fact, it should be company concept compensation. I'm going to cover who we are, what we do, and how you get paid. So change that to, in fact, John, you got the email. Okay, you know how to change that?
Which part?
PowerPoint?
Yeah.
In other words, I've been wanting to change that for like 20 years. Okay?
Let me open it
I'm
right
an A,
now.
I'm like, don't forget anyway. But honestly, the word I want is compensation.
Or say it one more time.
Instead of commitment, so it's going to be three things.
Company, concept, commission,
compensation.
or
Because
compensation.
that's what we do at a client's. The comp, you got show them who we are, credibility. 2, what we do, credibility, and 3, what's in it for you. Make sense? Number 3, it's a better way to work referrals. Listen, anybody here ever sold Kirby vacuum cleaners or Electrolux or Rainbow? Right?
Yes.
You
Well,
never-
I didn't, but my mom has a Rainbow. My uncle
Okay.
used to sell.
And they're not cheap. I don't know how much they
No,
were.
they're
They're
like 1,600.
yeah, it's like
maybe.
1,000 or 2,000. It's not cheap.
Best vacuum out there, but it's
But
expensive.
and they always sell it to the broke market.
Sure do.
They don't go around West Lake or they sell those people that put them on payment plans. They can't even afford it, and they buy them. It blows my mind. So they don't even have a carpet. But it looks pretty.
Do you want me to post these slides on GroupMe?
Yes, you can if you want. Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
do it.
So now, anybody ever been in sales and anything else? What kind of sales?
I actually, for 2 summers, sold books door to door.
Okay, and let me ask you a question. Did you ever get referrals? And if you did, what was the highest you ever got in referrals?
Oh, I don't know how many, but we would
Was it like 10, 5, 3,
probably
1?
5 or
Okay.
6 or 10. Yeah.
This is my point. Has this ever happened in that, when you were selling that, does this ever happen? Where you sold someone a set of books, they loved them so much, Sam, they said, oh my God, Sam, you have just changed my life. Oh my goodness gracious, where have you been all my life? I've been looking for someone like you who can change my life with books. Listen, because you changed my life like that, I want you to go see everybody I know, all my friends and relatives and friends and neighbors. I want them to know what you did for me. In fact, if you don't mind, when we go see them, I want to take you in my car and I'm going to drive since I know where they live. Is that okay? Because if I just send you there, Sam, you might get lost. But if you go with me, I've already been there. So I don't want you to get lost. This message is so important. I don't want you to get lost. Did that ever happen? And I'm going to add more to it. And if you don't mind, Sam, when we get to their house, they're friends of mine. We don't have to ring the doorbell. I can just walk in. I can go to the garage. Is that okay with you? And if you don't mind, Sam, I'm going to give you a great introduction. I'm going to say, listen, Esmeralda, Sam has changed my life. I want her to show you what she did for me in my life, in my family with these books, okay? And I want you to pay attention. Okay? And then if you don't mind, Sam, while we're there and you're doing the presentation and you're showing her what the books and stuff, I'm gonna point to the books and say, ain't that great? Ain't that great? Is that okay with you? Did that ever happen to you in the book selling business?
Not quite.
It doesn't happen in any kind of sales, but it happens every day in Primerica. It's called field training. Field training. So that is why recruiting works. If you get the most I've ever gotten referrals from one client was 77 or 75, but that was an anomaly, okay? The average is 5 to 6. Average. 3 to 5, 5 to 6, 10, usually 3 to 5. But the recruits, the most I've ever gotten is 400, and the least I've ever got is about 28. So my point is, you will get more referrals from a recruit because it's their natural market versus getting referrals from a client. That's why recruiting works. The genius of Mark Williams is that you recruit someone. I know you missed this because you weren't at the locker room talk, but this is a great message. I've heard this before so many times. Messages get lost because we have so much stuff. You recruit someone. Number 2, he makes a phone call to his best friend. You go with him. You recruit the recruit's best friend. Now what do? You take that guy you recruited and you have him make a phone call to his other best friend, and you go with him and you recruit that best friend. That's all you do. He didn't say go to district. He didn't say do a sell. He says once you recruit somebody, you got to go 9 deep with that leg. Why? Because if I recruited you, Sanka, and I recruit say Eddie, and I recruit him, and he recruits Myra, and she recruits Angelicia, and all of a sudden there's 9 deep. I think you're gonna work on your license. You know why? Because you got 8 possible overrides. I don't have to bug you anymore. I'm not gonna say, Sanka, are you studying? You're like, dude, I'm taking a test next week. Because if these guys get licensed, I'm gonna mess on an override. Do you guys follow me? So we gotta start going 9 deep, 10 deep on recruiting, okay? This is the problem I see in America. We're working so hard to get wide, and you need to get wide. But we recruit 4 or 5 directs, and then 3 or 4 quit. The reason they quit is they got no team. They don't have anybody in their team. If I recruit someone and I recruit someone for them, our Williams said this: a recruit is not a recruit until they have a recruit.
Right.
Rosa, do you have any recruits right now? We need to get your recruits. Because if I was Leslie and Dan, that's what I'm thinking. Rosa's gonna quit. I'm not saying this. I know you're a superstar and you're an incredible person. But this is what am I thinking of? When I got a recruit, it is my thought. If I just create Sank, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna quit tomorrow. I want to recruit somebody for him. He's gonna quit tomorrow. I wouldn't tell him that. I would say, man, Sank, you're gonna be amazing. You and your wife are incredible. You're gonna blaze a trail. Oh my gosh, you have so much potential. It's crazy. But inside, he's gonna quit tomorrow. I better find him somebody. You guys, it's called playing scared.
Yeah.
But it helps you. If you care about people, and I care about Sanka and Sam, I don't want them to quit, because this thing, if they do it right, will become wealthy. And by becoming wealthy, you're going to bless so many people and their recruits and their hierarchy, right? So my point is, my job as a recruiter, your job as a recruiter, when you recruit someone, go find someone for that guy or gal, like yesterday. And when you recruit someone for him or her, recruit someone for them right away. That's the key to our business, all right? Sense of urgency. Number 4, it's the only way to build leaders. You don't build leadership through sales, you build them through recruits. Make sense?
Yes.
Now, Grecia, you know, she's been dealing with me. I don't know, did you know she's been calling me?
No, but I called her.
Oh, no, that's okay. My point is, you know, she said, Esmeralda, I called Esmeralda, she's too busy, and didn't get back to me, whatever. That's why I'm calling you. I said, no, that's my job. Don't worry about Esmeralda. That's why you have my number. You call me. This is all I do for a living. She's busy with other stuff. That's understandable, but you can call me. That's what I'll do for your recruits. You understand that? I'm not just doing it for her. At least you can have your people call me. Y'all follow me? This is my big shop, right? So it's in my best interest to keep people in for you. You'll never have to worry about me, Sanka, trying to take one of your recruits. How would that benefit me? If you found out I'm recruiting, Tony, is that his name? If I found a way for him to come direct to me, why would you stick around someone like that? That makes no sense. That would not benefit me. What would benefit me is I have a good relationship with Tony, and I light a candle on his butt, and he starts going. Guess what's going to happen to your business? It's going to grow. And if your business grows, mine's going to grow. If your business grows, Lucio's grows, right? So it's called pushing up people. Let your coach help you with your team. Don't never act like you don't need help. We need to put our ego aside. If Jessica becomes a superstar, Esmeralda, and you become wealthy in the process, are you going to be upset with me because I helped you? You'd probably take me to dinner or something, right? You'd probably cook me a home cooked dinner. You'd probably make me some carne asada, homemade, right? And you would probably, and you say, lengua, ooh, that's even better. And you'd probably make flour tortillas from scratch. You take that harina and water. It's for Carlos, and he got me wealthy, right?
Come on.
He's going to HEB by the
I was gonna say HEB makes some fresh.
You get 20 for $1.55. So,
Wait, but you're not telling me you got the HEB?
you have my number, right? You never call me. Tomas is lucky, man. Nobody calls me. In case you didn't miss it, I like to eat. I'm a foodie. I enjoy eating. I really do.
Would have never guessed.
Yeah, I mean, you promised you won't have your, what do you call this thing? Fist bump, but that was another one.
Woman of your word?
What do you call when you, is it just fist bump?
Pound it. Pound it, yeah.
Pound it. Pound it. Right.
Oh, man.
Number 5, recruiting provides unlimited income. They asked a wealthy person back in the 1900s, I read this from a book, I think it was called, it's by a guy named Becker. Frank Becker, and the name of the book is How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success. Again, how I raised myself from failure to success. Now, he sold whole life, but his work ethic, how he did his monthly thing is astounding.
It's on your website, Carlos.
I'm sorry?
It's on your website.
Oh, it's on the website, on my, you mean the Team Tornadoes one?
Yes.
Okay, so you can download it, right? This is what he said. They asked him, what's the key to being wealthy? He says the key to being wealthy is to work 100-hour days. Unfortunately, it's only 24 hours in a day. So the reporter's like, how do you work 100-hour days? Because they have a mindset of employee, not employer. An employer, to increase their income, they hire more people. That couldn't be more evident in Primerica. You know, I got a text from Robert Ventanilla, he's my 3rd generation regional leader up in El Paso, and he texted me about 2 hours ago. He said, Coach, just hit DDR, that's 17 recruits a month, and five are directs. He says, I also got 3 people licensed so far this month. Pretty cool, right? Oh, he texted me the day before, on Wednesday, Coach, I just did a $100,000 rollover from a bank account at that. And then he texted me again on Wednesday, earlier. Hey, Coach, just got another IBA, a small business owner. Also did a PLPP today. We're going to come in the second half of the day. And then on Tuesday, he says, Coach, just got another direct pack of $850 a month. Good thing we have the second part of the day coming. Then on Monday, he says, Coach, we are at 6 recruits and $47.39 in premium, $25,000. Got 2 new recruits and a closed since Fast Start School plus a $250 pack. This is one guy. A lot of sales have been done in my hierarchy since the school. Yeah. My point is, that's called unlimited income, right? That's how you build wealth. So we need to get into the recruiting business, right? All right, so how do you recruit? I'm sorry?
He's full-time?
He is, in this case. actually, I think he has a job. He might have quit his job recently. I think he did quit his job recently, but he was full-time, and then he went back to a JOB, and I think he's full-time now. He's on his RVP run right now. Like last month he did like 12 by 13. This month he'll probably do, I don't know, 14 by 14. He's not going RVP till 20 by 20. And I already told him that because I don't want any, I don't want broke RVPs, man.
Right.
Okay, so, I'm sorry?
I said, right?
Absolutely, man. We need RVPs with a ring, right? Tell the story. So this is how you recruit somebody. You ready? You gotta master 3 stories. Your personal story. In other words, why did you join Primerica? You don't have to be making a lot of money to tell people why you joined Primerica. Esmeralda, why did you join Primerica?
This is financial services.
I'm sorry?
This is financial services.
Financial service, but you also told me because you want residual income,
Of course. Yeah.
right? I mean, who would not want that? You know, she's in real estate, and basically the premise is you sell a home, you make a nice commission, but the income stops after you get the commission, right?
Always
So,
unemployed.
Yeah, so, I'm sorry?
We're always unemployed.
Yeah, that's true. And the good news about Primerica, though, is you can hire, I mean, if you hire someone like me, you understand how your business is done. I told this to my teammates from out of town, because I spent a couple of nights while they were here. And when I joined Primerica, Jim didn't even know who I was. I was 6 generations away from Jim in the base shop. My brother recruited me, he ended up quitting about a year later. Charles and Lisa Walters, they were also farmers like my brother, that's how I met them, whatever, but they quit. And finally, everybody quit, but Jim, obviously Jim didn't quit.
Wow.
And this is what I told myself, I didn't tell Jim this because he wouldn't believe me. I said to myself, I want to be Jim's #1 guy. Because if I'm his #1 guy, that means I'm doing pretty well. That's what I told him, right? So that's what I told myself. I am 75% of his income today. Now, he passed away a year ago. Levy, his wife, who's life, and by the way, if you're a partner here, you need to get your investment license. Get your life, but you cannot override someone's securities business if you don't have your investment license. Sam, do you have your investment license? You need to get it. I know he looks healthy and all that stuff, but I would get it anyway. Now, the company will give you 6 months to pass the exam, but that's a lot of pressure when somebody dies, man. I don't know how you think. If you think it's, I think it's pressure enough as it is to pass the test. I mean, you don't need that pressure of having your spouse on this pass or she's gonna miss out on all this business because then you don't have to sell the business. Don't get me wrong, I'll buy the business, right? If it's making $100 grand a year, I'll be glad to pay $1 million for it. But you're missing out on 20 or 30 million probably in the next 30, 40 years. So get your life and get your investment license ASAP when it's not important to get it. You all follow me?
Yeah.
So going back to Jim, so again, so Jim's wife still makes 75%. 30,000 a month of income comes from my hierarchy. Pretty awesome. My brother-in-law, well, I love my brother-in-law. Before I got recruited, my brother Francisco, he took Jim to go do a KT with my brother-in-law and my sister in San Antonio. My brother-in-law was making 100,000 a year back then in furniture sales, A personality, and Jim's an A personality. For whatever reason, their personalities clashed. To this day, this is 28 years ago, because I got recruited after this incident. My brother-in-law still doesn't like Jim. Doesn't like him. And he badmouthed him until I told him, hey man, that's enough. I know you're family and I love you, man, but he's my coach and I'm gonna appreciate that. Alright, he's helped me become a millionaire and I'm sorry whatever happened, but you gotta let it go, man. You know? And folks, you gotta defend your coach. If you don't defend your coach, who's gonna defend your coach, man? Because you want your guys defending you. Y'all follow me, right? So this is my point. Apparently, what turned him off was that Jim told Arnold, my brother-in-law, you should buy a policy so you can help your brother out. And apparently that was a turnoff for him. I don't know why, but he made him feel like he didn't like it. I think it's ego versus ego. I know there's some clients that I've missed on because, or recruits on as well, because I make more money than them, and they're just haters, they're just jealous, and they don't want to, you know what I'm saying, right? But I can't control that, who cares, man? I'm the kind of guy, man, you show me how to make more money, I'm going to listen to you. Are you kidding me? I'd be like simple dumb not to, but there's people with egos, and EGO stands for edging God out. When your ego is more important to your family's well-being, it means you're not including God in the process, right? In my opinion, right? So I have an ego. I just will never let it get between me and my family. As far as income and everything else, I'm just not going to do that.
I heard something about in a CD with Success Magazine. He said, ego is like gravity, it keeps you down.
Ego's like gravity. That's true. I like that. Did y'all write that down? That was pretty awesome, right? I would tell that to someone.
Ego's like gravity, it keeps you down.
Ego is like gravity. Thank you, Leslie. All right. Back on Arnold. So after I became successful, Arnold was like, always throwing me digs about Jim. Jim makes all this money off of you. I'm like, yeah. Doesn't that bother you? I said, why would it bother me?
He's a furniture salesman.
When I was a pharmacist, when I was a pharmacist, Mr. H.E. Butt made money off of me. I didn't care, so why should I care now? And I never even met Mr. Butt. And these gyms work with me. He provides meetings for me every week. I have his cell number. I have his email. I never had Mr. Butt's information. He could tell us about me. I was a number. Jim is a friend. He's like a father figure to me. And then one day he says, man, he said something like, he said it again. This is like in Cabo. Another time, like, this is about 7 years ago, where it's 2 in the morning, we're playing cards out by the ocean. It was awesome. And not by the ocean, balcony's right there. You can hear the water and everything. And we're having a good time, man. And he says, doesn't it bother you that he makes all this money off you? I'm like, Arnold, I hope he makes more money off of me than he's making now. What do you mean? Because if I make 10 million and he makes 3 million a year from that means I'm making more money too. Like, hello? And my point is I stuck up for Jim, man. At first, I didn't want to cause any problems, right? Yeah, I understand. I blow it off because a lot of us want to avoid conflict. I totally get it. But at some point, it gets tiresome to hear people bashing somebody you care and admire. It just blows my mind. Okay. So again, your personal story. Then the number 2 is going to be your upline story. And number 3, and by the way, your upline in this case is going to be whoever recruited you, and then of course your RVPs. Well, I would use me as your upline story. Let me tell you why. This Monday or Tuesday, I got a text from somebody I met a long time ago. I don't even know their name. I meet a lot of people in the business, but he said he was at the home office with his team, checking out the home office, and he sent me a picture because I'm on the Wall of Fame, right? So he showed me a picture. He took a picture of me on the Wall of Fame. He says, "Looking good," and he said, "Let me see if I can find it." Again, I met him somewhere. I don't know where. My point is, you're working out of an office. The heck with me, Wall of Fame person, MVP of the company. You guys have a great story to tell. I grew up in the Barrios, man. To me, a good car was when it started. You know,
right?
When I was growing up.
You can start it after you jump it. It's still good.
What's that?
Even after you jump it, it's still good.
Yeah, this guy's name is Juan Carlos Campos, I guess. I don't know. This is on Monday. He says, looking strong, brother. I mean, I don't know who this guy is. I mean, well, I mean, I met him, but I mean, I can't remember him. Oh, maybe it's Juanca. I don't know. Anyway, from my New York office. But anyway, my point is, so tell your credit. By the way, and then number 3 is a market story, which is amazing. Now that being said, the most important story is your personal story.
That's right.
Your personal story is the most important story because you should tell someone why you joined the business. Rosa, why did you join the business? What was your number 1 reason?
I wanted to have like extra income for my kids.
Okay.
To help my husband and then to be able
So then that's what you need to tell people. If you sit down with Sanka and Sam, when you start your presentation, I would say, by the way, before I get started, I want to share with you why I started doing this business. Because my husband and I are pretty much living paycheck to paycheck, and I want to make more money for our child, or 2 kids rather. Let me tell you why it's important. Because the reason why you got involved in the business is probably the reason why they're going to join the business.
Right.
So share your story. I'm not saying a 5-minute PowerPoint presentation, just verbally. You know what I'm saying? Like a minute or 2, 30 seconds. It's your own personal infomercial of why you got started. You didn't say you were making $1 million a year. Just explain to them why you started. And I was talking to, I don't know if it was Jay, I think JD told me this, but I believe he used it this past weekend or something at an appointment. When somebody asks you how much money you're making and you're just getting started, do not do SEAL talk. What do SEALs do? Don't be embarrassed of where you're at or not at.
Right.
This is what I would tell someone, Eddie. That's a great question, but let me ask you, what's more important to you? How much money I'm making, or how much money you're going to make? Let's work on you. Let's focus on you. Fair enough? Because I'm just really getting started, man. Let's focus on you. And by the way, I could be totally bad in this business. And you could far exceed me, so don't base your success on my success. By the way, how do you base your success? On someone else's success or your success? Then let's focus on you. Write that down. Okay, so again, it's a great question. Let me ask you, what's more important to you? How much money I'm making or how much money you're gonna make? Everything that I'm telling you folks is exactly what I apply, it's exactly what I use at the kitchen table, it's nothing fancy. It's nothing like revolutionary, it's not like Shakespeare or something, it's just boom, right? It's genuine. That's how you overcome that question. So don't ever fear, some of the reasons why people don't recruit somebody, I have nothing to sell, I haven't done anything yet. But you're in the process of, it's okay, right?
The first time I heard you say that on your or on the thing with Bill Whittle, that blew my mind. I was like,
because it's simple to remember, and it makes total sense, and you take the pressure off of you. You remove that pressure from you, which is important, right? You know, Dietrich, how many closes have you done this month so far?
4. I got a 5th one coming up pretty soon.
So you probably do 5 or 6 closes this month, right?
Yeah.
And most of them are all social media,
Yes.
which is amazing.
Awesome.
Huh?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I grew up with, when I built this business from scratch, there was no social media, so I had to do it other ways, which is prospecting and referrals and recruiting, right? But today, I mean, there's a RL in, I don't know if it's Mario Rivers, no, actually Gary Cornegie's base shop, who does like 80 by 80, 80,000 in premium as an RL, and 80 recruits a month, and 80% of all his business comes from social media, Facebook, whatever. And listen, I would not put something general on the, is that what's it called, the wall? Is that what they call it? Okay, I don't know, terms have changed, right? But I would inbox somebody. I would say, hey, Lucio, it's me, Dietrich, hey, just let me know, I work for a company going through expansion. You may know someone that might be interested, send them my way. You know, something like that. I know Mary says you can't do that, but I'm positive you can. You're not, as long as you don't put it on the wall. It's like making a phone call, but it's through social media. But don't tell her I said that. If you tell her that,
let's hope she doesn't go. Let's hope she doesn't watch it.
Yeah, what's that?
I said, let's hope she doesn't watch it.
Trust me.
I know.
Watch, we're gonna get a
I didn't want to put it on Google when she said that, but
yeah.
she's to be a teacher, man. She's strict. What's wrong with you? Anyway, all right. Y'all got this, okay? I spend about 2 or 3 minutes at the most on my personal story, about 20 seconds on my upline story, and maybe 2 or 3 minutes on the Primerica story. That's all I would do, okay? Because nobody, and I told this to John, no one ever joined Primerica because they love the name, the spelling, the colors,
The logo.
or because what's that?
That's the logo.
Yeah, exactly. They join the business because they buy you. They buy your vision and where you're headed. That's what they joined Primerica. And of course, what's in it for them? It wasn't the name. Okay, I don't focus on you know, our company is great. It's important to know that, but and then we have credibility. But no one joins because of the name or the credibility. They join at the end of the day about what we do and what's in it for them. Okay. Number 2, how to recruit. You got to give a winning presentation. 90% of winning is being excited, being fired up. If I sat next to, can I borrow your little book real quick? If I sat next to Dora at a prison table, Dora, I'm going to rotate with you. First of all, I want to thank you for letting me come over. I'm so excited. It's called Primerica. And statistically, we're amazing. And, if I don't make eye contact, and I'm, what do you call that, monotone, how am I going to recruit someone? 90% of recruiting is being excited. You gotta be fired up. I'm not saying jump on the table and act stupid.
Tom Cruise.
I'm just having something. What's that?
Tom Cruise.
What movie was that?
When he jumped on the couch with Oprah.
He was so in love.
Yeah.
What's the name of the movie?
No, this was real life.
At a show. I didn't even know that. But y'all see me? I mean,
The Oprah show? Yeah.
just change your inflection of your voice here and there. Don't be monotone. Have that look. That book that I read that totally changed my life was you got to be believed to be heard by Bert Decker. One thing besides the first brain connecting emotion versus logic, the second thing I got is you got to make eye contact. I'm an introvert. It's hard for me to look at someone eyeball to eyeball, basically, or eyeball to eyeball, whatever.
Have you heard the saying, you'll lose 20% because of your excitement? You'll lose 20% of your sales because of your excitement, but you'll lose 80% for the lack of it?
Yeah, I did not know that. Really?
Yeah.
So if you're an odds person, I'd rather lose 20% because I'm too excited, right? I got to focus on the 80% that are attracted to my excitement, right? They say if you want to attract attention, light yourself on fire and people come and watch you burn. right? And the good news is it means being excited.
I like it.
Please do not light yourself on fire. For
My
those of you
life is
that
alright.
for those of you that are very
Post a
coachable,
YouTube video next week. No.
it's just metaphorically speaking. Okay, I don't
Going
know,
viral.
right? But my point is,
Figure of speech.
so I started looking people in the eyes, you know, and because I'm an introvert, and I didn't really. And let me tell you why it's important. When you don't look people in the eyes, even today, they tend to think you got something to hide, even if it's not true.
Or you're not saying the truth.
But right, that you're lying. But their perception is their reality. So just look them in the eyes. Make sense, right? Okay. I got that from that book in Chipmunk.
Nothing but excitement. It doesn't cost you nothing to be excited.
That's true. It costs you nothing to be excited, right?
Do you want me to change commitment to compensation again on the slide?
This one, let me see. Yes, definitely. It's not what you say, but how you say it. Matter of fact, I did this on Tuesday night. Me and John did a Zoom with a guy in Wisconsin. I forgot where he was at. Vermont, Virginia, Oregon.
No, South Carolina.
Oh, okay, South Carolina.
He's in Houston tonight, though.
Oh, is he
should
really?
be. He's on his way back.
So he told me when he's being trained, he loves it, the insurance business. He was being trained by this 7-year-old guy. The guy's probably, what, about 37, 38? I don't even know.
Yeah.
I guess I'm assuming this that when he was telling me he was probably 30 and was being trained by someone. And that guy who was training him told a couple, hey, real quick while I'm doing the presentation, were you here when I said this, Senka?
When was that?
No, he wasn't. He
Oh, that's
wasn't.
right, you're a couple.
Yeah.
Check this out, it's a great closing line if you do it the right way. I thought it was genius. Well, he's doing his presentation, Sam, he told the wife, do me a favor, do y'all have a checkbook? Yeah. Do me a favor, can you grab that really quick? And he continues with the presentation. The lady comes back with a checkbook. She goes, I have the checkbook, why do you want to see it? Tell me, not to be personal, he's the right to be personal, remember that? Not to be personal, but give me, I don't need to know the amounts, just give me the names of the last 5 people you would have checked to. It would be like Walmart, Sam's, electric bill, whatever. And then he asked her this question. Tell me which of those 5 people you wrote a check to are more important than your kids? Any of them? Well, no. Great. Y'all follow me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're talking about life insurance, right? Show me one of those checks is more important than write it to America Life, right? Now, the guy we talked to was turned off. He said he didn't like it. And I even told him on Zoom, actually, to be honest with you, I actually like it. It's just the delivery has to be correct. Because this guy said he tried it, and he was doing it laughingly, and the people got turned off. They saw this look on his face, like, he saw the look on it, like, I can't believe you just said that. And he said, you know what, I probably should be leaving, huh? They go, yeah, I should leave.
Oh, wow.
Again, he was apologizing for being a closer, which you shouldn't. You should never have to apologize if you're doing it with your heart in the right place, right? Number one. It's okay to mess up as long as you have your heart in the right place. Number two, he just needed to work on his delivery. I don't believe there's anything wrong with the way you say it, because it's true. This is what I tell people. Sanka, I'm just curious. I just met them. Would you rather, Sam, you and Sanka, that I talk to you guys as a salesperson or more like a friend?
Friend.
I want to talk to you as a friend then. I'm going to be very honest with you guys and very forthcoming. Is that fair? Great. Nobody is going to, so that's going to give me permission to just be, what's the word I'm going to use? Frank with you. Even though I'm Carlos, I'm going to be frank with you. Is that okay? But y'all follow me?
Yes.
They want to buy from a friend, not from a salesperson, right?
Right.
Okay. Smile. They say if you want to increase your face value, you should smile. Your face value, face smile.
Yeah.
All right. Look, by the way, I read this in a book. Let's just say you're upset, you're tired. It takes 9 muscles to smile and 63 to frown. So if you want to waste less energy, just smile. Okay? Less energy, right? Repeat their name. Make sure it's the right name.
Right.
Okay?
It's hard when their first name's Brad and their last name's David. And
Yeah,
like
two
you like
first
Brad,
names.
David. Hey, David.
But you'd be running the other way.
Hey, what matter? What
Hey,
matter?
Brad.
Multiple personalities, right? It says right here, ask questions, right? Make sure and ask a lot of questions, 30, 40, 50 questions in a presentation, all right? All right, I'm almost done because we're going to wrap up here. 10 great recruiting questions when you're out and about. I'm curious, okay, this is not the right one. This is not the one that I want. I have like 25 of these, and this is not the one. I mean, the 25 of these, same presentation that okay, so I have better questions. Anyway, I'll give them to you though. Let me see if I found one that I like. None of these. All right, so let me give you my 4 or 5. I used one with Rosa earlier. When I'm at a kitchen table or I'm out and about, that's what I ask them. Tell me, Lucio, not to be personal, but do you have a backup plan in case you lose your job?
No, I don't.
With today's job market being very unpredictable, right? I mean, there's no such thing as a good job anymore, right? I'm curious, would it make sense to have a backup plan?
Yeah.
It would, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I
sure
do
does,
for a
yeah.
living. I help people get backup plans. If you don't mind, how about we exchange my numbers? I'll give you my cell, you give me your cell, and we'll set up a time to get together. Is that fair?
Yeah, we'll do it.
That's a way to prospect. I didn't ask them to leave their job. I didn't ask them if they like their job. I'm asking them, do they have a backup plan in case you lose their job, right? Number 2, another one. I'm curious, Lucio, are you locked in to what you're doing, or do you keep your options open? Are you locked in to what you're doing, or do you keep your options open?
I keep it Bubba.
Okay, the reason I'm asking is I work for a company, and I'm in charge of expansion here in the area, and we're looking for some key people. I'm not sure if you qualify or not, but I'm willing to just meet with you and find out. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. Again, are you locked into what you're doing, or do you keep your options open? Third one. All right. I'm curious, John, and I know John's right here, but I'm assuming John over here. I'm curious, John, but in the next 5 to 10 years, all right, exactly like the last 5 to 10 years, will that be a good thing or a bad thing? Most folks will be honest, that'll be bad. Again, in the next 5 to 10 years, right, exactly like the last 5 to 10 years, will you be any closer to reaching your goals and dreams? That's a better way to phrase it.
Yep.
Again, if the next 5 to 10 years are like the last 5 to 10 years, will you be any closer to making your dreams and goals come true? No, not really. The reason I'm asking, this is how you transition. The reason I'm asking, Monica, is I work for a company going through expansion.
Yes.
And we're looking for key people right now. I'm not sure if you'd qualify, to be honest with you, but I would definitely want to exchange numbers. I'll give you my cell, you give me your cell, and then we'll set up a time to get together. Is that fair?
Yes.
Great. Y'all follow me on that?
Mm-hmm.
The other one. John, let me ask you a question. Are you the kind of person that would be willing to put in 5 to 10 hours extra hours per week, part-time, to make sure that your kids have a great future?
Absolutely.
I'm curious. It's another good one. Eddie, are you the kind of person, I'm curious, Eddie, but are you the kind of person that would be willing to invest in another 5 to 10 hours per week part-time, on a part-time basis, to make sure your child, your son, has a great future? Yes? Great. The reason I'm asking is I work for a company going through expansion, looking for a few key people. I'm not sure you qualify, but you never can tell, right? So why don't we do this? Why don't we exchange my numbers? I'll give you my cell, you give me your cell, and we'll set up a time to get together. Fair enough? You guys follow me? You gotta get in a groove. I practice, drill, rehearse this. I don't need to read it anymore. I got it, right? When you become a pro, right? The other one is, I'm curious, Senka, do you and Sam have a spare tire in your car?
Yeah.
Why do you have a spare tire in your car?
Just in case.
Just in case? Are you planning on having a flat tire? You're not, but you have one just in case, right? The reason I'm asking you this is because if it makes sense to have a spare tire in your car for your journey, it also makes sense obviously to have a spare career in case you lose the one you got. I mean, obviously you're not planning on losing your job, but if you did, would it make sense to have an extra, have a spare career or spare income coming in?
Yeah.
It would, right? Why don't we do this? I'm in charge of expansion here in the Austin area. I'm looking for some key people. We'll exchange my numbers. I'll give you my cell, you give me your cell, and then we'll set up a time to get together. Fair enough? Great. Y'all follow me? I'm telling you, this is how I built the business, right? Let's see if I have another one.
Are you married to your job?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Monica, you have a job right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, level with me. Are you married to your job?
No.
You wouldn't want to, right?
Nope.
The reason I'm asking is I work for a company going through major expansion right now, and we're looking for key people that, for people who do not want to be married to their job, they want to have freedom. They want to control their life. They want to control their time and their income. If I can show you how to have those two things, control of your time and your income, would that be a good thing or a bad thing for you?
That'd be great.
Great, why don't we do this? Why don't we exchange my numbers? Y'all follow me again. Are you married to your job? By the way, no one has ever told me they want to be married to your job. Nobody, I don't care who they are. Even people that own a business don't want to be married to their job, okay? So then I would say, I would follow up with this. The reason I'm asking is, our company, I'm in charge of expansion, and we're looking for people just like you. People who do not want to be married to their job. In other words, they want to control their time and their income, basically their life. I'm curious, if I could try to have those two things, control of your time and your income, would that be a good thing or a bad thing for you?
That would be great.
Great, why don't we do this? Let's exchange my numbers. I'll give you my cell, I'll get your cell, boom. Anybody writing this down? Because I would like someone to maybe put it on, like, I don't know, Word, is that what it's called? Put into that stuff. And we can put it on GroupMe, okay? All right. So, how about this? I'm curious, Maida, but would an extra $500 or an extra $1,000 a month help you or hurt you right now in your life? Would it help you? The reason I'm asking is I work for a company in terms of expansion, and we're looking for some key people that would be open to working part-time to make an extra $500 or extra $1,000 a month for you. So, why don't we do this? Why don't we exchange my numbers? I'll give you my cell. I always volunteer your number first. Does that make sense, right?
Yeah.
Next one. I'm almost down here. Oh, but that was a good one too. Have you ever thought about running your own business? Now, if somebody tells you no, I would ask them, really, tell me, why have you thought of never running? And this is what they'll tell you. Wow, because it costs money, I don't have knowledge, and you want them to tell you that. So this is what I would say the rebuttal to that. However, John, if you did have the money and you had the knowledge and skills to own your own business, would that be a good thing or bad thing for you? Well, that'd be good. Great, because I work for a company going through expansion. We're going to give people the tools, the skill set to run their own business and be successful. If I could show you that, would that be a good thing or bad thing for you? Oh, that'd be good. Great. Why don't we exchange my number? Y'all follow me? It's all a pattern. It's a schedule I'm following, right? This is another good one. Are you the kind of person that keeps your ear? Oh, in my case, it's an ear to the ground for an opportunity. Are you the kind of person that keeps your ear to the ground for an opportunity?
Yes.
Okay. What's the other one? John, level with me. Are you like most people that when you get home, you take off your mask and be yourself? Most people wear a mask at work. John, level with me. Are you the kind of person like most people that you feel like you wear a mask to work, and when you come home you take it off to be yourself? That's the way to do it. Yeah. Are you the kind of person that you feel like you wear a mask to work, and then when you come home you take it off to be yourself? I'll give you an example. You can call a company, and thanks for calling. Let's see, what's the company here?
Sears.
IBC.
Just say so.
Okay, Sears. Hi, Sears can help you. And then when you call them at home, bueno, ¿con quién hablo? Same person. Bueno. Follow the hunt. Oh, who's this, man? They were real nice on the phone. Hi, thanks for calling Sears. You call them at home. Hey, kiddos. Kiddos. I'm like, really? Wow. You know what I'm talking about, right? People change, I know. Let's see, how to recruit somebody. The 1-2 punch. The 1-2 punch is you, the trainer, and the recruit. It's a 1-2 punch, right? In other words, like with Esmeralda or anybody, just it's kind of like basketball. Lob me the ball, and I'll dunk it. If you had Michael Jordan on your team, who would you rather take the shot, you or Michael Jordan? I would rather have Michael Jordan. And your job is to just make sure he has a pathway to the basket. Just lob the ball. Let him do his magic, right? Well, the trainer is Matt Johnson's too, but Michael Jordan. Your job is to be the assist leader. Let your trainer do the business, right? Do the talk. Master the art of investing and inviting. I taught this to somebody. I forgot who I taught this, but I'm an introvert, so I'm not a good natural conversationalist. I'm just not. So I use acronyms to help me stay in a conversation. The other person thinks I'm just a natural conversationalist. How do I do it? I talk about form. So tell me about your family. Married, single, NEADS. What do you do now for a living? What do you enjoy most about what you're doing? What would you alter or change? We're the decision makers, and you know what, for America, I may have a solution for you. You guys follow me on that? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yep.
Be transparent. It's okay to wear your heart on your sleeve when you talk to people. Okay? When I'm on appointments, I talk about my kids. I talk about where I grew up. I'll talk about my mom is my #1 hero. Listen. most salespeople in every industry, including financial services, they go into someone's house and the client doesn't know anything about that person. They just talk about their product or service. But America is different. We want to create friendships, relationships. Make sense? I had a client yesterday call me. He says, hey, can you, I want to put $12,000 into my SEP IRA. He's my client and he's got a voluntary account, Roth IRA, traditional IRA, and a SEP IRA. And he had me, asked me to put $12,000 for me, what do you call it, non-qualified plan to the 12. That's pretty good, right? I mean, pretty awesome, right? How would you like to have plans do that with you, right? Pretty awesome. I was still in bed when he called me. He called me like at 8:30, like, dude, who calls me at 8:30? Anyway, next one. Master the 3-foot rule. Now, what does that mean? When you're out and about, anybody within 3 feet of you, you talk to them.
Yep.
Now, Angelicia, what if they're farther than 3 feet? What do? You get closer. Like, I don't want you to be Angelicia at the theater, and like, I got a prospect, but John, that guy over there, he's like 8 feet. So I'm gonna talk to him. His coach said 3 feet. Well, move closer. Now, some of you guys, because you're nervous, and that's okay to be nervous, right? Tom Hopkins says it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to have butterflies. Just make sure they fly in unison, okay? In a pattern, right? So let's say, Denise, you're out and about and you think someone is like, you're within 2.5 feet. Well, coach said 3 feet, so I'm gonna move a little bit here, so I'm gonna talk to you. You can't do that. Talk to everybody. What's the worst thing that can happen to you if you talk to them? They're not interested, right? So what? Always get a name and number. Recruit as you go. Recruiting is a one-on-one business. People always ask me, do I invite them to the op night first or do a one-on-one? I would do whatever's faster, closer to the timeline. So today, for example, if I just met Marcus, right, and it's Friday, and op night is a Tuesday. If he can meet me on Sunday or Monday, I'm gonna meet him Sunday or Monday. If it's Sunday and op night's Tuesday, well, if he can't meet on Monday, I'll invite him to the op night. It doesn't really matter. I'll recruit people either way. I'm sure a lot of you all have, right? They still gotta come to op night eventually. 7, qualify each new recruit. And what does that mean? Do the needs on them. Are they married, kid? Are they 4 or 5 pointers, right? Every prospect must see themselves doing it. So you gotta make it simple. Don't make it complex, okay? So the definition of genius is to take something that's very complex and making it simple for us to understand. That's a definition of genius, okay? Oh, this is pretty good. So always focus on recruiting. If you have a sales approach, right, you just want to close, right, life insurance, whatever. If you have a sales mentality, you will close 46% of all your people as clients. And you'll recruit only 16%. But if you have a recruiting focus, check this out. Your closing of a percentage goes up to 63% versus 46%, and you will recruit more people. Anybody know why? Because you'll see more people. It's a recruiting approach because, like I mentioned this earlier, people are interested in themselves and making more income, right? Make every recruited client. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I recruit Alicia and I never do her life insurance and she dies because I don't want to be pushy or salesy or I don't want to, whatever, she dies. Imagine the obituary. I know they would never put this, but imagine Lisa passed away, worked for a financial services firm, and she didn't have life insurance. It's like working at it's like owning a what do you call it, a restaurant. What do you call those restaurants with steaks? A steak restaurant. Steakhouse. And you're a vegan. Wow. She's part of a restaurant, but she doesn't eat the food. You see what I mean? You gotta buy what you sell. You gotta own what you sell, right? And by the way, listen, if you recruit 100 people in the next 12 months, Anka, and you close all of them, that's 100 sales right there. Is Tony a client?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Wife, yes.
I mean, my point is, again, Art Williams said, the sale occurs when it's supposed to, but you can't make it 2 or 3 years. If they die, shame on you. It's your fault. You're the coach. You're the leader, right? Duplicate yourself, right? And we talked about this earlier. I recruit Sanka. I'm gonna help recruit Sam. Sam will recruit Maida. Maida will recruit Lucio. You gotta go down the line, right? I'm gonna finish up with this, but this is the thing. Width makes a whole difference. So for example, if you only go two directs, too wide, and you just teach your recruits to go too deep, you'll recruit 30 people over 4 levels. But if you're 5 wide and you recruit 5 for everybody, that's 780. The difference between this and this is 609 recruits. That's huge. So go wide and deep, okay? I talked about this earlier. 8531 out of 8 appointments you do that go through. You may have to schedule 12 to have 8 go through. 501 FNAs, 3 lifestyles, 1 recruit, which is not bad numbers, okay? If you're full time, you should be able to do 8531 every week. If you're part time, you should do that at least once a month, right? I mean, think about it. If you're part time with me, right, and you get 1 recruit and 3 lifestyles, that's a pretty decent part time income. $400 or $500, $800, right? You got a recruit, which is even better. For every 3 recruits, 1 will quit, 1 will get trained and quit, and 1 will stick. Okay? Would like kind of give me they would mention something. How's the life insurance business? How's that thing? How's from America? And when you're losing, everything hurts. When you're winning, nothing hurts. It's funny how that works, right? So now that I'm winning, they don't ask me how I'm doing. They know I'm doing. Does that make sense, right? It'll happen to you too, okay? Last thing I'm going to cover. You and your team must attend all meetings. So think about this. Senka, when you and your team have 25 people come to every out night, every Tuesday, your business will do 25 clients a month. When you average 25 people on out night weekly, that's the average, for the month, you'll have 25 clients. That is the reason why you got to increase your team's attendance, because the more people you have in attendance, the more sales you're going to have in business. Bless you. Pretty awesome ratio, right? And remember, I'm going to finish with this. You're always 1 recruit away from an explosion. This is a problem that I see with people. They're waiting to recruit someone, Dietrich, and that'll be their explosion. But until you find that guy or gal, you need to be that explosion. You need to be your team's explosion, right? How many sales did you do last month, Senka? Do you remember?
This month I'm at 2. Last month I might have only done like.
What's the most you ever did in a month?
Oh, 6.
Okay, which is not bad. Listen, to be successful here, it's 4 to 6 lifestyles a month, 4 to 6 recruits a month. But as you build a team, they'll start doing the same thing. Actually, they'll do half as much as you do. That's what it'll do. But now you got 10 license codes that produce. Now you're doing, what is that, about 20 to 30 sales a month? I mean, that's pretty good. That'll take your RVP. So I'm basically done. Anybody have any questions? Hey, one last thing I forgot to mention. Dr. Trevetti, Alok Trevetti. Any of y'all went to his seminar last year?
Yeah.
He's gonna have another one on December 2nd. It's $125. I'll write it down. $125. It's a Saturday from like 9 to whatever, 9 to 3. I don't even know. Dr. Trevetti, it's aligned performance. He's working on your thinking. It's basically getting. I can tell you this, it's going to help you in the business. It's going to teach you how to overcome your fear of no, rejection, whatever. And many of them are our own internal fears that we have in our own. It just blows my mind out of work. Did you and Daniel go to the last one? Okay. If I were you, I know to somebody 125 is a lot of money. I totally get it. Okay, I used to be broke and stuff like that. But I never skip. Is that what you do? Skip when you buy cheaper stuff. I don't know what that word is. I never skipped when it came to self-improvement. I probably have invested in myself, self-improvement wise, from books to tapes to seminars, probably 35 grand in my career. But I've been paid over 16 million in my career. So, folks, that's a pretty good mutual fund. That's a pretty good return. That's a pretty good ROI, right? Return on my investment, right? Yes. So, Jim Rohn said, a formal education will make you a nice living, but self-education will make you a fortune. So it's only 125. So he's gonna send me a link, and I'll put it on GroupMe. We can go on there and pay the 125. Okay.
It's gonna be here.
Yeah, here in Austin. It'll be here. Probably at the Single Hotel. Is it the Omni still? What it's called? It used to be called a different name. I can't remember the name now. But did somebody say something? Okay. So again, it's 125. How many of y'all pretty much feel like you'll go? Anybody here?
Maybe.
I would recommend it, man. I'm doing pretty good, but I want to get better. I'm not where I want to be. Okay.
Are you recommending if we took it and then go again?
I'm sorry?
It's already done, so do you recommend if we already took it, go
I
again?
w-
Like,
Okay, I
keep
couldn't understand
going?
everything you're saying. You're saying, do I recommend?
She already
going
went.
again?
Should she
Yes,
go
yes.
again?
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
This is you started talking like that, so I
Because I'm
couldn't
an
get-
A.
Like what?
Because I'm an A.
Oh, no, I'm a triple A, so. I still
I'm more
understand
A than you. No,
That was a different dialect for an A, but
Make it
anyway,
triple A, make it
my
millions.
point is, the answer is yes.
Yes.
I
Keep on
believe that
going? Okay.
Tom Hopkins says this, winners go back to the fundamentals at least once a year. In fact, this January, I'm gonna do a training on law of attraction. It's like, have you ever seen me do a PowerPoint on law of attraction? I didn't do it this past year, because I thought my guys were gonna get bored, but I need to realize that I need to teach new people old things, not teach new things to old people, right? I need to teach the fundamentals. So I'm gonna cover it in January. I'm gonna do a 3-hour training on law of attraction, how to get what you want, okay? From that book, Law of Attraction, but I believe that book is on my website. So anyway, guys, help me with the chairs, if you don't mind, put them away, and let's finish the week strong, okay?